In this edition, I'm going to give you an update on where our travels have taken us, and we're going to talk about the multiple streams of passive income that allow us to live this lifestyle of traveling full-time while working in our business. Welcome to the Stay-at-Home Nurse Podcast. I'm your host, Deanna Cooper Gillingham, bedside nurse turned lifestyle entrepreneur. I started my career as a nurse in 1994 and worked in a variety of settings, eventually landing a dream job as a work-from-home case manager. But it still did not give me the freedom and flexibility I desired. So in 2014, I created a side hustle that turned into a multi-six-figure lifestyle business, allowing me to leave my job and move to the Caribbean in 2016. I haven't looked back since. I now travel the world while running my business. I have fulfillment, freedom, flexibility, and fun. I want the same for you. This podcast is here to inspire and equip you to live your best life. Let's get started. Hello, my friend, and welcome to this edition of the Stay-at-Home Nurse Podcast. Since we have spoken last, we left Mexico and we flew to Geneva, Switzerland, stopping at a layover, very short time in Frankfurt, Germany. We arrived in Geneva and we are staying with some friends in their beautiful home. It's been wonderful. They are taking us around and touring us and showing us all the beautiful sights. Old Town, Lake Geneva. It's been beautiful. We were only there for a few days and then we hopped on a plane and we are now in Marbella, Spain. We've been here for a few days. Our friends have purchased a villa here in Spain, so we came here with them they were finishing up some paperwork. They're going to have some renovations done and meeting with the architect. So we are actually sitting here relaxing and enjoying the pool, and Marbella is right on the Mediterranean Sea, so we're enjoying the sea and having a great time. So I wanted to just explain how I can do this. How can I travel all the time and still have the income coming in my business to support us? First of all, we do live on a budget and our expenses are not what you would think. We're able to do this pretty thriftily, and that could always be a topic of another podcast episode if anybody's ever interested. In fact, if you have anything that you'd ever like to hear more about, shoot me an email at hello@thestayathomenurse.com and let me know what topics you'd like me to cover in a future podcast episode. Okay, so there's always this controversy of is passive income really passive? And honestly, there's no truly passive income, but some forms of income are more passive than others. So today I'm going to review all of the different income streams that I have and talk about how passive they are and how much revenue they bring in. I kind of hinted a little bit on other episodes about our systems and processes and teams that help us to be passive for Abby and I. So today I want to actually talk about the different revenue streams that we do have. The first thing that we created when I first started this business, I didn't have any products or services yet, but I was writing my book. And because I was getting leads to my website, I was getting people coming to the website and reviewing my study notes. Because of that, and because I didn't have anything to sell at the time, I became an Amazon affiliate, and that allowed me to recommend products on Amazon and get paid a small commission. I will be honest with you, these commissions are nothing that I could ever even dream of living off of. They would get me a meal at Five Guys monthly. That's about what I bring in. But it was my very first online income, and it was exciting for me just to see that, yes, you can create money online by just recommending other people's products. It took me a year to write my book and publish it and get it out there to where I was actually making real money. And so probably about 3 months after I started the Amazon affiliate income, I published my first book. That book has been rewritten in that it's now in its third edition. So as far as being passive, it had to be rewritten to be updated every time the test changed. But other than that, it truly is passive in that it's on Amazon. Amazon promotes it. Amazon advertises it and markets it and sends me a check. So that is about as passive as you can get. Now, I will say that I also promote it. I have a Facebook group and I have email sequences and I still have my website. So yes, I am also promoting it, but again, most of those things I set up once and then I spend very little time. And so that's another thing I want to do. I want to segue into time. I tracked my time using Toggle, which is a time tracker. And I've noticed that since we left Las Vegas, I spent probably, I think it was 50 hours that week working because I was at a conference and there's a lot of time. Although it doesn't seem like work. You're attending conference, you're meeting with people, you're having dinner with colleagues and potential clients and potential people that you might collaborate with. So it doesn't seem like work. And then we were doing our coaching and our workshop. So that was, I spent a good 50 hours a week those 2 weeks. But then since then, I've noticed that I have worked about one 12-hour shift a week. And it was kind of funny when I saw it, and it's anywhere from 10 to 15 hours a week. So I averaged it out at 12, thinking that's what the average shift a nurse works, is a 12-hour shift. And I'm able to work one 12-hour shift a week and maintain this lifestyle that we have in this passive, or is it really passive, income. And I'll dive a little bit more into that with each of these income streams that I'm telling you about. So after the book, the next thing we created was our on-demand course. Now, how passive was that? The creation of it, actually, I had somebody else that we collaborated with and they recorded it. We did the editing for it and we put it up on the website, and we had to create a course website. So there was a lot of back-end work that Avi and I did on that. But now, again, at this point, it's pretty much just set it and forget it. We'll get emails about the course once a quarter. The instructor of the course will do a Q&A session and we'll send out emails. Our assistant will send out emails about that. So for us, it's really pretty passive again. We have our marketing that we've set up. We have our Facebook groups. We have things that we do to market and promote it. But again, it's very much hands-off as far as we're concerned. Next, we have our live course. So our live course, being that it's live, means that somebody actually has to be there and teach it. This is something that I had my hands in a lot. The first 2 sessions, I did the teaching, I taught the course, and I realized that it was really not what I wanted to do. I didn't like having something on my calendar. So I have found wonderful teachers, excellent teachers that have been in this profession a lot longer than I have, that have trained thousands of case managers. And so they took my curriculum and my course and they now teach it. So again, the actual sessions, the teaching sessions are very passive for me. I have other people that teach them. And the course is offered 3 times a year. And we've now set up systems and processes that my assistant can do to promote the course, make sure everybody has their login information and knows how to get into the course, make sure that everybody's attending the course, make sure everybody gets their CE credits after the course. So again, this is very hands-off for me at this point. Now, the next thing we did was we took in on another affiliate. So I mentioned the Amazon affiliate. You can also become affiliates for other products and services. My people were asking for a CCM prep test or book. And I tried creating one and I just did not like it. The creation process of trying to come up with a question and then 3 wrong answers was very hard. I could come up with the right answer, but coming up with wrong answers that sounded right was very hard. And it didn't do anything for me. It did not feed my soul. So I had these questions and wasn't really doing anything with them. And I started searching to see if there was already something out there that I could recommend. And I found a wonderful product. It was called DataChem. And I reached out to the owner of DataChem and asked him if I could become an affiliate for promoting their product to our people. So that was another income stream that we have, is our DataChem affiliate. We definitely make more from DataChem than we do from Amazon, but it's still not a big income source for us. Next, I created a Foundations of Case Management course. So I noticed that people were using my CCM prep book to train new case managers. And that really wasn't the intent of it. It assumed that you already had a good understanding of case management and were just getting certified, which means you were already an expert or very close to that. So for people that were new to case management, I didn't feel like it gave them a true good foundation that they needed. So I created a Foundations of Case Management course. The course did well. The people that we put through it in the beta test loved it, but we did get one piece of feedback. It was a very long course. It included case management, utilization management, and MCG training. So we got feedback that we could break that up. Not everybody needed all of that. So now we broke it up and we have 3 courses. We have a Foundations of Case Management course. We have a UM and MCG training course. And then we have the original course that covers it all. So those 3 courses are, again, very passive income for us. We have to market these ourselves because Facebook, they're not on Facebook, so Facebook is not marketing them for us. So I do spend some time every week marketing these courses, writing articles, different things that I can do to get people interested in them. And we have instructors that teach the courses, that review the material. So it's an on-demand course, but there is homework that needs to be done and reviewed by a real live person. So I have instructors that do that. And we have an automation that is set up to handle getting the CE credit certificates to the students. So again, that's very hands-off for me. The next stream of income that we created was we started getting interest from other authors. I realized I didn't want to write all the books because that's not passive income if I have to write every single book. So we worked with other authors and we published their books. So we started our own little niche publishing company, which starting the company, of course, was not passive. But with our first couple authors, we were able to set up systems and processes again that I'm able to hand off to my assistant. And now she's able to take on the bulk of the work. So a lot of that 12 hours of work that I've been doing the last couple weeks has been meeting with potential authors, coming up with agreements and contracts, and coming up with a style guide, little things like that I need to do as our publishing business is growing. So we split royalties with our authors. We also charge an upfront fee to our authors for the services that we provide upfront. So we get a little bit of income in upfront from the authors when we sign them. And then we get passive income after we sign them. So the signing process is not passive whatsoever. We have to do a lot of research in both industry research and research on our authors to make sure that we will be able to sell the books after they write them and we publish them. So there's a lot of work that's involved there. But again, it didn't add up to more than 15 hours a week. So I'm happy with that. Once the books are actually published, it goes back to being, again, passive income. And finally, we have our Facebook group, and our Facebook group has 25,000 case managers in it. We have a lot of recruiters and companies coming into the group and wanting to promote positions. So we now charge for that. They have to have a sponsored ad, or they have to become sponsors of the group to be able to post their positions in the group. And this is advantageous for them because our cost of sponsoring the group is much less than they would pay to an agency. Now, again, this is not something that's making us a lot of money, but once we got the companies up and we get them signed, then it becomes passive in that they post their posts and send us a check every month for the privilege of doing that. Okay, so those are our main income sources right now. Again, you can see they're mostly passive, very, very much hands-off at this point. And that is what allows us to travel, work a few hours in the morning. Sometimes we work one day a week and just batch it all in. It just depends on what's going on, where we're at, and what we want to do. Now, I do want to mention that we have a couple, I will call them bonus income streams. These are things that are not regular streams of income, but they do come in every once in a while, and it helps us out to fill in the gaps. One of them is speaking. I have been doing some speaking lately, and some of it is paid speaking, so that's been another source of some income. Corporate training. We've also had companies coming to us now wanting us to train their staff, either in certification prep or getting their staff up to speed in either Foundations of Case Management or the Utilization Management and MCG course. So that's been another source of income for us. And then bulk orders, usually from companies, again, that want to buy books for their teams. So that is all of our sources of income. And as you can see, most of them, the bulk orders, like the bonus income, is not hands-off at all. So I tend to gravitate more towards the passive streams of income, something that I can create something, spend a lot of time creating it, and all the heavy work is done up front, but then I can go and live my life and reap the benefits of that work that I put out in the beginning. And by stacking all of these different streams of income, That is what has really allowed us to have this lifestyle that we have right now. So this was not something that happened overnight. This has been 10 years in the making. If you want to hear more details of that story, I would invite you to listen to episode 713 of the Smart Passive Income podcast with Pat Flynn. I was recently interviewed on his podcast as a success story, and it really goes in a little bit more. Again, not the full details, it's the abbreviated 30-minute version, but it does give you a little bit more details on that, and we'll have a link to that episode in the show notes. Again, if you have a topic that you would like covered in an episode of the Stay at Home Nurse podcast, please shoot me an email to hello@thestayathomenurse.com. We also have a Facebook group for the Stay at Home Nurse podcast, and you can go ahead and post your question in there, or your comments or your thoughts on future topics. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast episode from beautiful Marbella, Spain. Who knows where we'll be next and record the next episode from, but stay tuned and find out.